Connection versus disconnection in the action of comparison, inside and out, by Renée Lindstrom, author of Somatic Archetypes. Articulating the definition and use in the act of comparison. In an article posted on Inside Awareness Center for Integrative Somatic Learning titled The Roots of Somatic Archetypes in Goal Setting, there is a concrete, readable comparison that is made to demonstrate differences. It was to give the readers or listeners an example of an outwardly focused use of comparison versus an inwardly focused one. It is an explanation of intention for taking actions and from which position when taking it. Comparison is often at the source of conflict that begins with harming others and self-harm. The pattern of this act of comparing is ingrained into habitual behavior and is not recognized as one processing with this socially conditioned behavior pattern. If one tracks back to the source of conflict, it usually leads to comparison, even in a group. When one compares themselves to others outside of themselves, often the unconscious pattern of behavior that was modeled and has been passed down is based upon moral judgments. This means the thinker analyzing the differences is finding fault with people, places, and things, or within themselves. In the article mentioned in the opening sentence, comparison was used to explain two approaches without grading them or putting one in the position of having power over the other. They are simply two approaches that people can choose for themselves depending upon their attraction and needs. When it comes to bullying, I have heard my society focus on the label bullying and come up with strategies that speak to it as a condition. Some of the terms married with it are mental health and trauma-informed, etc. These are descriptors of behavioral actions that often do not have the practical applications of actual steps to process it. It becomes a condition and it is carried into the psyche as a story. However, there is potential to educate on the uses of comparison as an alternative to labeling it and speaking at it. I am suggesting that defining comparison and normalizing the functionality of its use can possibly diffuse episodes of bullying type behaviors, where one independently targets someone or gathers a group to join in targeting them, as a way of introducing an explanation in an opportunity that isn't a hotbed of emotions and resistant thinking. I began to explain the word and its use in the Feldenkrais method of somatic education. Comparison is a pattern that is used to focus persons' attention, to bring them back to their felt senses to feel their postural transitions in movement. There is a position of balance, and in the model comparison, it is used to view the differences in the body function, for example, between the left and right sides, which mirror each other. This suggests that we were born with the skill to compare. This also suggests that it is an intelligent skill and enabled us to get up and participate in society. This is possibly the only time I use right and wrong statements. I suggest there is a correct use of the skill to compare and an incorrect use. In my classes, I guide people through the correct uses of comparison to better themselves. Somewhere along our society's evolution, it became distorted, and it has been used for the purpose of making moral judgments against others and oneself. One is practical and a building block to a better lifestyle, and the other tears it down and distorts reality. As a teacher and practitioner of somatic communication and movement patterns, the correct use of comparison is invaluable, while the incorrect use wastes time, energy, and effort, and life-draining. Integration of learning patterns is far easier than unraveling a destructive construct that has been built up surrounding the original trigger when one person compared themselves and another person. Integration through learning is proactive, yet requires one or a group to move through their inertia. This only shifts when a force is so great it causes it to happen regardless. I recommend not waiting to this point due to the destructive nature of it. Read the article firsthand. The Roots of Somatic Archetypes in Goal Setting, or listen to the audio in the voice of the author on YouTube. Explore learning opportunities with the author of this article at the Inside Awareness Center for Integrative Somatic Learning. The links are in the description box below or at the end of the post. Follow on socials: Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, X, Pinterest, and Tumblr. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. Thank you, and we'll catch you on the next one.